Good morning. Welcome to Wyckoff Trading Tips. The Wyckoff Strategies and Techniques are not simply mechanical indicators that, if automatically followed, can ensure success. Instead, they provide an insight into a stock's present and future behavior. Trained Wyckoff students can use this knowledge to increase their probability of success when both taking and closing positions. It is important to recognize that every stock behaves differently. Believe it or not, each stock has its own individual characteristics and patterns. The ability in both identifying them and using them correctly plays an important part in completing successful trades. That is why, when considering taking a new position, it is important to study the candidate from a longer-term perspective. This helps you get a good understanding or feel for how the stock has behaved in the past and an insight as to how it should behave in the future. Whether you are a short, intermediate, or long-term trader, this longer-term understanding of how a stock has behaved helps greatly when anticipating its future market action. Once you become comfortable with your chosen stock's market history, every Wyckoff student should make the following determinations. First, determine the short, intermediate, and long-term trends of both the stock and your market index. Second, decide on the length of trade you wish to make. Always trade with the trend. For example, if you wish to take a long position for a short-term trade, the short-term trends of both the individual stock and your market index must be up. If you wish to take a short position for a long-term trade, both the long-term trend of the individual stock and your market index need to be down. The only exception to this rule are if a stock is having a spring or an upthrust. Because this is ending action, and the stock has not yet left its trading range, the trend would still be neutral. Springs and upthrusts are important. Wyckoff indicators that strongly suggest a change in the trend. They give Wyckoff students an opportunity to take a position early in the move. Third, determine the stock's relative strength or weakness when compared to your market index, and, if it is available, the stock's group index. This provides an opportunity to discover well-performing stocks in an up move or poorly performing stocks in a down move. This is easily done by making visual comparisons on your online charting service. To do this, various sector groups can be compared to your market index. If the market is advancing, the Wyckoff student looks for groups that are performing better than your selected index. If the market is declining, look for groups that are weaker than your selected index. Once a group has been selected, it can be compared to your market index. If the market is advancing, the Wyckoff student looks for groups that are performing better than your selected index. If the market is declining, look for groups that are weaker than your selected index. Once a group has been selected, it can be compared with stocks within that particular sector. Your online charting service makes selecting candidates relatively fast and quite easy. Once a candidate has been selected, it is time to analyze them using both the vertical line chart and the point and figure chart. Wyckoff students should start by identifying possible entry points that may appear in the near future that would allow them to take a new position. To the upside, they can be springs, their secondary tests, last points of support, and, once a trend has been established, on a reaction back to the trend channel's support line. To the downside, they can be upthrusts, their secondary tests, last points of supply, and once again, when a trend has been established, on rallies back up to the trend channel's supply line. Once a decision is made to purchase a stock, market discipline becomes extremely important. The Wyckoff trader should follow these guidelines. On paper, write down why the buying decision was made and what specific Wyckoff indicator or indicators caused you to act. Write down your goal for the stock based on its point and figure chart. Write down where you are going to place your stop order and the specific reason for that decision. Write down exactly what you expect the stock to do immediately after you place the order. Write down what the stock would do that would make you close your position. Every day, write down a brief synopsis of the stock's performance and if it is moving according to plan. Once the stock has begun to move, this step should only take a few minutes each day. Keep an eye on the stock's rallies or reactions and compare them to the objectives on its point and figure chart. Because a trading range often consists of phases, the point and figure chart can identify several different objectives. As each one of these intermediate objectives is reached, a decision can be made about whether the position should be closed or if the trade can continue. Move stop orders to just below the last support point on rallies or the last resistance point on reactions. Remember, you should not rely on stop orders to close your trades. If a stock is not behaving as expected, based on your daily observations, trade should be closed manually before stop orders are executed. Successful Wyckoff students are disciplined traders. They pay attention to all the Wyckoff indicators and the Wyckoff tools. They do not let emotions into their trading discipline. Emotionless, disciplined trading is vital to making money in the stock market. Wishing and hoping always leads to disaster.
You can learn more about these profit-making strategies, including examples of relative strength and weakness, trends, trading range phases, the opening and closing of positions, and many more, by reading our Wyckoff ebook called Wyckoff Strategies and Techniques. The book is an updated version of the Wyckoff course in stock market science and technique. As a special bonus, a free audio recording of the ebook is included with every purchase. The audio recording has its own set of charts that make it easy to follow along as you learn more about the Wyckoff strategies and techniques. Learn more about how to make better, more profitable trades by using these time-proven Wyckoff strategies and techniques by simply clicking the link below.